From Giant Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, WPIX Sports presents NFL preseason football. And tonight, the New York Giants visit the New York Jets. And a good evening. Welcome to New York Jets preseason football. I did say the Giants visit. Technically, this is a New York Jet home game, as tonight a pair of undefeated teams get set to match it up. Spencer Ross along with Joe Namath, and this for the Jets, their fourth game. Let's let the Giants first show, and we keep looking at quarterback. Hostetler is the number one, no doubt about that.
Right, and he hasn't played for a while, but he practiced all week. His hyperextended elbow is better, and we're going to see Jeff start the game tonight and play. Now we're going to get a look also at that young quarterback out of Duke, Dave Brown. We already know what Phil Simms can do, so the Giants would like to take a look at the young quarterback. Hey, I'm anxious to see him play myself.
Dave Brown was the number one pick in the supplemental draft as far as the Giants were concerned. The Giants, long known for their great defense. A change, though, this year as far as the defensive coordinator is concerned. And how big a factor could Rod Russ be to this team?
A good influence on this team. Rod Russ, of course, has been a head coach of the New England Patriots. He's been knowing these NFL defenses for 25, 30 years. He has the Giants playing a type of zone coverage in that secondary that's confusing for young quarterbacks especially. But the Giant defense is without Eric Howard and Carl Banks as well as both safeties, so they're hurting on defense.
Well, Browning Nagel will look to exploit that. Nagel will be the starting quarterback once again for the Giants, but there's some competition in camp, folks.
Well, there's competition, all right, but realistically, I don't think there's enough time left for Ken O'Brien to win the starting job outright. I think Browning Nagel will be the quarterback, and we're going to see Ken O'Brien certainly get some action tonight. We know what Ken O'Brien can do. He can come right in there, mentally together, so he's ready to go.
To use a term which has become so popular, on the bubble. Is Johnny Hector on the bubble? Longtime veteran for the Jets, who's been a real good one, but the injuries may cause some problems for Mr. Hector in staying with this football team.
Yes, I was talking with Johnny yesterday. The groin still does hurt him, Spencer, but he's determined to play tonight. So we'll get our first look at Hector.
There's no doubt a healthy Johnny Hector belongs on any football team in the NFL. We'll get back with the opening kickoff. It's the Jets and the Giants coming up next right after these messages. And we are set for the opening kickoff. The Jets are set to receive and set to kick it off for the Giants as we are underway here. Is Matt Boyd. And this is Terrence Mathis at the 5. Mathis to the 20. Mathis still on his feet, breaks away and gets up to the 30-yard line, and that's where the ball will be put into play. Mark Collins in on the stop for the Giants. 1st and 10 for the New York Jets from their own 30-yard line as Terrence Mathis returns the football, and we'll check out the New York Jets, who will start with Browning Nagel at the quarterback position. 1st and 10 from their own 30. Blair Thomas and Brad Baxter will be the running backs. Al Toon back in the lineup. Terrence Mathis, the wide receivers. Mark Boyer, the tight end. And up front, Criswell, Cadigan. Duffy continues to replace Sweeney, who's injured. White and Eatman. And 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line for the New York Jets. Back to pass Nagel. Has time, and over the middle hits Mathis up near the 40-yard line. He's got himself a first down. Canavis McGee in on the stop for the New York Giants, but a first down to start it off here for the Giants up at the 41-yard line. For the Giants defensively, they've got some changes with Eric Howard, the holdout. George Rooks replaces him at the nose tackle position, flanked by Dorsey and Marshall. On a 1st and 10 for the Jets from the 41. It's Blair Thomas in motion. This is Baxter. Breaks a tackle and gets only up to the line of scrimmage. Eric Dorsey in on the stop. But Canavis McGee is the man who really strung that play out from his linebacker position, number 96, as he came wide. And at the linebackers for the Giants, it will be McGee and Taylor on the outside. Pepper Johnson and Steve DeOssie. DeOssie has beaten out Gary Reasons once again for that right inside linebacker position. Left inside linebacker. The cornerbacks for the Giants, they make some changes. They've got Walls and Collins. Brown and McGriggs are the safeties. 2nd down and 10. Double tight ends in now for the Jets. This is Boyer coming in motion. Blair Thomas on the handoff gets only up to the 43-yard line. Eric Dorsey in on the stop. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 7 now for the Giants. Interesting, Joe, they come out 1st down and pass, huh?
Yes, and that first pass just barely got in there, too. I tell you, McGee, the linebacker for the Giants, figured in the first couple of plays. Man, on that 2nd down, he took the tight end, Mark Boyer, from the Jets and pushed him back into the backfield to make the play. Certainly a passing situation now.
3rd down and 8 for the New York Jets. They will send Mathis wide to the far side of the field. Al Toon, Burkett, and Rob Carpenter, 4 wide receivers in for the Jets who operate out of the shotgun. Here is Browning. Nagel rushes on, and the pass complete to Burkett up to the 48-yard line. Good pressure that time. The safety blitz was on for the Giants, and they very nearly got to Browning Nagel.
Well, you know, the Giants were gambling a bit. They figured they could force Nagel to throw the ball early, only to a short receiver, and then make the play short of the 1st down, and it did work that way.
So the Jets are shy of the 1st down, and Louis Aguiar is set to kick it to Joey Smith, who stands back at his own 10-yard line. So the Jets get a 1st down, but basically unable to move. This is great hang time. And Smith is going to let it bounce. It'll hit at the 1 and roll into the end zone, and it'll come out to the 20, where it'll be put into play 1st and 10 for the New York Giants from their own 20-yard line. A 51-yard kick and no return, but only a 31-yard net on the kick. The Giants will come out with Jeff Hostetler at the quarterback position, their first offensive series. After a 1st down for the Jets, nothing across the board for the New York Jets. Hostetler at the quarterback position. Rodney Hampton and Jared Bunch will be the running backs. Stephen Baker and Mark Ingram will be the wide receivers. Howard Cross, the tight end. Up front, they go with Jumbo Elliott, William Roberts, Bart Oates, Bob Cratch, and Doug Riesenberg. A lot of changes the Giants had hoped to make have been scratched. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Hampton is the lone setback. Here's Hampton, has some room, has a 1st down, 35 up to the 38-yard line. Big hole off the left side of that line. William Roberts and Jumbo Elliott certainly can open them up.
Oh, they caved in that right side of the Jet defense that time. You'll see Hampton come one-on-one with Lonnie Young, number 31, the free safety, and he'll juke to the inside and fool Young certainly. This is definitely a lift for the Giants early in the game. Said, hey, we can run this ball right at the Jets. Let's do it.
16 yards in the pickup and a 1st down for the Giants. No score, 11:20 left in the 1st quarter. Here's Hampton again. This time hits a wall and is taken down after picking up a yard or 2. Brian Washington with the 1st hit, and Lonnie Young, number 31, the man to finish him off. The Jets get Dennis Byrd back as we check back their defense. Byrd has been out. Will be at the left end position. Scott Mercereau, the left tackle. Mark Gunn is the right tackle. Jeff Lagerman, the right end. The linebackers are Bobby Houston, Kyle Clifton, and Mo Lewis, now in his 2nd year. The cornerbacks for the Jets, Hasty and Brim. Lonnie Young and Brian Washington are the safeties. 2nd down and 9 now for the Giants from the 37-yard line. Hostetler runs out of time as Grant will get a penalty. Mo Lewis was there along with Joe Kelly, who came flying in for the Jets, but it was Lewis, and we'll most probably get a holding call up here against the Giants.
That's just why the Jets moved Mo Lewis over to the weak side. He's so quick and active. That's what they want from him, be able to rush the passer. Holding penalty probably on Rodney Hampton that I would expect the Jets to turn down.
Holding, number 27 on the offense. Penalty decline.
You got it, Joe. Hampton, the man who picks it up, unable to hold on to that linebacker who came blitzing in. And it'll be a 3rd down and 18, a loss back to the 31-yard line.
On the left side of the screen, you'll see Mo Lewis run around Hampton, and Hampton try to tackle him, but Lewis will have none of it. Look, he reaches out and makes the play.
What do you mean tried? He tackled him.
He did it.
Good defensive play by Hampton. Out of the shotgun. Pressure. Here's Hampton. The 40. Gets to the 45. He's about 3 yards shy of the 1st down. Tony Stargell and Kyle Clifton combining on the stop. So the Jet defense gets the job done. You know, talking about the changes the Giants had hoped to make on the offensive line, they wound up bringing everybody back. John Elliott back at the left tackle position, William Roberts back at the left guard position, and Doug Riesenberg moves back to the right tackle. And Bob Cratch inherits the job that Eric Moore might have had at right guard. Eric Moore still holding out. Sean Landetta to kick it away. He has not kicked in a few weeks, and Carpenter back deep for the Jets in his own 10. Landetta's been out with a sore quad muscle. He is a good.
Woo-wee, wow.
And a great bounce. And the Giants will down it at the 15-yard line. Goes only as a 40-yard kick, but it's a good one. 1st and 10 for the Jets from the 15 when we return. No score in the ball game. The Jets and the Giants. Coach Bruce Coughlin on the sidelines for the New York Jets. Anybody want to trade for his rookie card? To trade a Namath for a Coughlin. That's a 76 Bruce Coughlin Topps rookie card. Tight end. Cincinnati Bengals. How many of your rookie cards do you have, Joe?
I don't know, but I know this hot Coughlin card is going for about $1.85, and I think if they do the playoffs again, it's going to get up to about $4.50.
Here we go. 1st and 10 for the Giants from the 34-yard line. And Hostetler, seeing something he didn't like, calls a timeout.
You know, the 30-second, 25-second play clock was all the way down to 2 seconds. Hostetler saved a 5-yard penalty. That's something you certainly say, what happened here? Well, I didn't get the play from the sideline enough. That Hostetler's a little upset, I would imagine. I would be upset. Yeah. Because, again, quarterbacks these days don't call the plays. They have to wait for them to come in the sidelines. The coaches like to take as much time as they can. Hostetler said, yeah, okay, just give me the play a little bit earlier and I'll get it off. Didn't want to take that 5-yard penalty.
Instead has to waste the timeout, so the Giants will have it, a 1st and 10 from their own 34. They have yet to cross midfield in their 2 series of downs, and the Jets were able to move into Giant territory on 1 occasion.
Right, excellent defense so far. You know, I always liked calling plays, and most quarterbacks did. Out on the field, I always believed you had contact with your offensive line. You could look in their eyes, see who's ready to block. You could look at the defensive lineman, see who's tired, maybe who's limping, go after him. It's a lot more fun for a quarterback being able to call his own plays.
Well, here's Hostetler getting the play and set now on 1st and 10. A good play action fake by Hostetler, and all along for the 1st down up to midfield. Bobby Houston in on the stop as Howard crossed the tight end. Could you have played for Paul Brown? Seriously, as great a coach as he was, he called all the plays for Otto Graham, one of the all-timers.
Hey, I could have handled all of his on-field responsibilities. I'm not sure if I could have handled his off-field regulation. Paul Brown certainly coached so many of the fine coaches around right now. He influenced professional football as much, certainly more than most of the guys. Good play-action fake, really fooled the Jets.
But you never would have called a play playing for
I know.
For
Otto Graham did all right having his play sent in, huh? Playoffs, 10 years.
Certainly did. 1st down. Here's Hampton trying to turn the corner. Hampton turns the corner. Mo Lewis finally wrestles him out of bounds at the 43-yard line. But the Giants on the move. They have now gone into Jet territory for a 1st time this evening with under a minute remaining in this 1st quarter.
Rodney Hampton, speed, run to daylight. He jumped up in that hole. There was nothing there, so he goes outside. He's getting ready for the season. He's been bummed up a little bit, hasn't seen a lot of action yet. There's Rodney, 215 pounds of muscle and quickness.
Missed the first 2 games of the season, of the preseason, with a shoulder injury. 1,000-yard gainer last year. Here he goes again. He's got the 1st down to the 35-yard line. Hampton with a 1st down before Mo Lewis brings him down. Hampton last year over 1,000 yards and a 4.1 average.
Yeah, Bart Oates and Bob Cratch, Riesenberg, these guys are doing some job up on the right side of the line. Both of these last running plays went right behind the right side, and they're attacking Dennis Bird's side and having some success. Bird, of course, was out last week, but he says he's 100% now. Stephen
Baker to the near side and Mark Ingram to the far side. Ingram now comes in motion on first down. Play action fake. Hostetler. Hostetler going to pick up some good yardage and slides down near the 25, close to the first down. Bobby Houston, the man who cut him off, as the gun sounds, ending the first quarter, and ends on a high note for the New York Giants, Joe.
Yes, they had some good offense. That man right there has made a couple of plays.
Scoreless ball game, but the Giants on the move when we return for the second quarter here at Giant Stadium.
Once you see the Giants and the Jets play football on Channel 11, you will hit the big leagues. WPIX and a special brand of power football. More game, more action, more everything. Giants and Jets football, only on Channel 11.
The Jets take on the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll be there live Thursday at 7:30, only on Channel 11.
So Brownie Nagel returns after Ken O'Brien gets a couple of series of downs. Nagel 5 of 7 for 45 yards. O'Brien, while he was in there, was 4 of 7 for 36. So here's Nagel back in. Interesting method of working the two quarterbacks in by head coach Bruce Cosler. On first down, Nagel to throw. Nagel with time all alone at the 25-yard line. Blair Thomas inside the 20, down to the 18, and the Jets are on the doorstep inside the 15-yard line.
Blair Thomas, you get this man in the passing game, you got something going. Excellent pass protection once again for Browning. Nagel enabled Thomas to get way downfield and split that zone coverage of the Giants.
29 yards on the play. From the 43 to the 14. On first down, there's Baxter breaking a tackle. Great second effort, pulling away before finally being brought down. Everson Walls in on the stop for the Giants. So it'll be a second down coming up now.
You gotta like Baxter. I mean, he is nothing but strong. He hits those holes, bounces outside, determination. He's developing into a good blocker back there. Powerful runner. Catches the ball well, too.
On second down now, and 9 from the 13. Deepest penetration of the ball game for either ball club. Scoreless with 6 minutes left in this first half. Here is Nagel. He's got a man. It's Terrence Mathis inside the 10, down to the 8-yard line. Everson Walls into the stop for the Giants. The Jets pick up a few more yards, 5 yards on that pickup, and they'll need about 4 for the first down here on third down.
Well, that was a nice tackle by Everson Walls. You know, Mathis, he's elusive. Watch Walls come up to the inside and just does not let him put a move on him, because once Terrence Mathis starts putting moves down on you, buddy, you're going to lose him.
Third down and 4 now for the Jets. They're down inside the 9-yard line. They'll call it 5 or 4, a long 4. Operates out of the shotgun with Freeman McNeil the setback alongside. In trouble, Leonard Marshall has the sack back near the 30-yard line. A breakdown up front by the Jets offensive line, and the veteran Leonard Marshall doesn't quite take the Jets out of field goal range, but pretty close to it.
Yeah, that was excellent team defense by the Giants. You'll see right here, Nagel has time, but not much. Now watch Marshall just get to the outside. Criswell, the left tackle of the Jets, didn't do a bad job on Marshall. Browning tried to escape, and Leonard just clamped down on him.
Allegre, a 42-yard field goal attempt, and it is perfect. So Raul Allegre, the former Giant, gets the Jets on the board with a 42-yard field goal with 4:58 remaining in this first half, and the Jets lead it by a score of 3-0. Interesting drive. Jets took over. Talk about special teams again, Joe. The punt return by Carpenter, 22 yards, gives the Jets the ball in the territory of the Giants, and then the big play, of course, the 29-yard pass to Blair Thomas.
Yes, and the Jets did it basically with the backup offensive line, and there Mike Haight was in at left guard, and Bruce Colley in at the right guard position, along with the rookie Malamala. Kenny O'Brien did take the Jets from the 7-yard line out to midfield, got away from the goal line, and then, of course, the punt exchange, and the Jets got nice field position. But you know what? If you're the Giant defense, you can't feel too badly about giving up 3 points there. I mean, they did a good job of holding to the Jets to 3 once the Jets got inside that 15.
So the Jets are on the board. Big defensive play. Leonard Marshall with the sack. And forcing that 42-yard field goal. So Louis Aguiar, it's the longest shoelaces I have ever seen. check the size of those laces.
This. Are you kidding me? There's got to be a trick to that. I want to see how he ties him. Come on, let's stay with that. Where'd he put this? Look, he's stuffing it in his shoe. That's got to be uncomfortable, huh? That's his kicking foot, too.
Louis Sutton gets a little more pressure on the football, though, with the big shoelace, right?
I remember when they used to have a steel plate in the kicking shoe. Officials used to come around, and Al Davis used to make him come over right before the game when we played Oakland to check out Jim Turner's shoe. Made him change the shoe on the field right before the game one time. Oh, was Jim Turner angry and Weave Eubank. Whoa.
Chris Callaway, number 19, and Joey Smith, 88, back deep. And this is Callaway. And Callaway finds a hole, runs into one of his own men, and gets up over the 20 to about the 23-yard line before he's brought down on the play by Marcus Turner and Lonnie Young. And it'll be 1st and 10 coming up for the Giants. So they've got plenty of time. 4:49 remaining. We've got an injured Giant on the field. Checking an injured Jet on the field. A 3-0 ball game. And is that Carpenter? No, it's not Carpenter. Let's check it. It's Eric Bowles down on the field for the Jets. Bowles able to get up now.
Yeah, but they were checking that
good.
right knee. It doesn't look good, Spencer. When you start looking at the knee and then you see the young man have to leave the field with some help, you know the knee is hurting him. Well, those folks are certainly having a good time. There's the double bubble twins there with the red hair, and the rest of the gang are going out rocking and rolling afterwards, folks. I don't know where, but
you're showing your age. The double bubble twins, huh? Okay.
We got Marvin Washington in at the right defensive position for the Jets, the right side and end position, and Paul Fraze is also on the defensive line right now.
And a 1st and 10 for the Giants from their own 23-yard line. Rodney Hampton and Jared Bunch, the running backs. And here is Hampton. Big hole, and Hampton up over the 30 to the 33. R.J. Coors in on the stop. Mo Lewis also helping out. Mighty close to another 1st down. Let's see where they're going to spot it. They'll spot it at the 33. It'll be a 1st down.
Rodney Hampton breaking away from a slightly over-aggressive Dennis Byrd that time. Byrd had a backside containment and just came a bit hard, and Hampton was able to break underneath him. Dennis is fired up for this game. You know, Coach Costin says, cool it a little bit, Dennis. You know, I mean, look at that. That's Dennis Byrd.
There's Jared Bunch trying to hit the middle. Dennis Byrd, Mo Lewis helping to combine on the stop along with the rookie Kurt Barber. There is Dennis Byrd. Now in his 4th year, moves to the outside, and he likes that outside position. Gives you much more freedom to roam.
Yeah, that's right. He says it's a little bit like being out there on an island. Here, number 90 to the right of the screen, meets the runner beautifully with his head in the proper position. He likes that end position. He doesn't have double teams attacking him nearly as much, and he has the kind of speed and quickness to get around the corner.
3:38, the clock running, remaining in this 1st half. 3-0 Jets. Here is Hostetler. Hampton. And Hampton up over the 35 to the 36. Mo Lewis coming up again all over the field. The 2nd-year pro from Georgia. Mo Lewis making the stop at the 36. Gain of only 2 yards on the play. It'll bring up a 3rd and 7
Third and 7. D6.
Very much a defensive struggle here this evening. Giants trying to get on the board here late in the half. Callaway to the top of your screen. Stephen Baker down at the bottom of your screen, out of the shotgun. Here's Hostetler, who's gone all the way. Over the middle. Oh, right in between to Mark Ingram. Split two defenders. I'll tell you, you got not very little room in there to get that football there, Joe.
He got it in there, though. That's what counts. Lonnie Young, the safety from the Jets, number 31, nearly makes the play where he got up off the ground. Watch on the left side. You see number 31? He's going to get awful close to this pass, but not close enough. No, he missed the tackle is what he did. He ducked his head. Then Hasty makes the play.
Had a little more room than I thought he had, actually, in that play. Hampton once again, he doesn't have much room. R.J. Coors, number 25, is right there on the stop in his second year with the Jets. Tempers are beginning to rise a bit here.
Sure, Bill Piquel, he's fired up. He wants to get this thing over. Wants to beat these Giants.
2-minute warning. 2 minutes.
We got the 2-minute warning right here. The Giants on the move. The Jets lead it by a score of 3-0. Get word from the Jet bench. Eric Bowles, a twisted knee, questionable as to whether he will return. Second down and 9 now for the Giants. This drive began in their own 23. Hostetler 4 for 8 in the ballgame for 47 yards. He has gone all the way for the Giants. Bunch is the lone setback. Jets with 6 defensive backs in the lineup now. It's Ingram in motion. Washington after Hostetler. Oh, R.J. Coors, they're going to call him for interference on the play as he hit Callaway. And Hostetler is down and he is hurt back at the 40-yard line. Took a hard hit after releasing the football.
There's a flag also in that area, and it may very well be a late hit on Hostetler. Let's take a look. Hostetler can't get it off there. Now he's going to throw it. Watch the late hit. Boom. Once again, Dennis Byrd got called for that 2 games ago, being a little bit late. It's the second time Bird's been called for roughing the passer.
That was mighty close, though, Joe.
Hey, you know, well, the official, it was very close. Now, I don't know if he threw that flag because of an unsportsmanlike situation or what. Watch number 90. After he hits Hostetler, he's going to be over top of him. Keep it going. You'll see number 90 jump up and say something. Now, I don't know if the penalty came for a late hit or an unsportsmanlike conduct. You see that? That might be. Now, if that's an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, that's one of the worst calls I've seen. I mean, if a defensive player can't get up and say, all right.
Pass interference on the defense, number 22. The penalty, the ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Of an unsportsmanlike taunting, number 90 will be penalized.
Come on, what unsportsmanlike conduct.
It certainly wasn't a late hit, and he didn't do anything more than Leonard Marshall did after the sack.
Hey, it was not a Gastineau type dance by any stretch, was it? I mean, what kind of thing is that? Bird simply stood up and let his piece out in a second or two, and he gets penalized for it. I think that's a lousy call.
It's really going to hurt the Jets because tacked on.
It hurt Hostetler more.
Yeah. Tacked on to the interference, which they called on McMillan, not on Coors. It looked like Coors was the man who hit him. It is the unsportsmanlike penalty, and it brings it down to the 11-yard line. So it's a gain of 38 yards. And also for the Giants, it gives them an opportunity at a first down.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, if you're going to handcuff the defensive players from giving any kind of demonstration at all, man, you're taking too much fun out of the game.
Hostetler gets away, throws to the end zone, and Hasty was right there with a good defensive play. Pass intended for Stephen Baker. Bill Pickell all over the field.
And Paul Fraze was back there too, harassing Hostetler. Hostetler got away with something that time. He put that ball downfield. Now maybe, Jeff, maybe he was throwing it high on purpose. I know that. But there certainly was good coverage on the play downfield.
Jets with a 3-0 lead, 1:48 remaining.
Ooh. Oh my goodness, Hostetler's getting some hits on him.
Baker to the far side of the field, Ingram to the near side of the field on 2nd down and 10 from the 11. Here is Hampton, big hole up the middle, gets down to the 6. Bill Pickell, number 71, was there on the stop along with Kurt Barber, the rookie. So it'll be a 3rd down, call that a gain of 5. Perhaps 6 will call it a 3rd down and 4 from the 5-yard line.
Little draw play. Pickell reacts nicely, comes all the way across the line to make the play, along with strong safety Brian Washington.
So here's the big 3rd down play now. 3rd and 4. 3-0. Jets lead, 1:15 remaining in the half. A slot left formation with Ingram in the slot on the left side. He now comes in motion. Hostetler to the end zone, intercepted in the end zone. The Jets have it back. Brian Washington on the pass intended for Howard Cross, and Washington comes up with a big play, and the Jets get the football back.
Jeff Hostetler feels low now, and just the opposite. Brian Washington and the Jets are sky high. As a quarterback, when you get in that situation, you don't want to turn the ball over, and that's why Hostetler's upset. At least he knew he could have had 3 points. But hey, give credit to that man right there, Brian Washington, for being in the right place and holding on to that pass. On the right side of the screen, you see Hostetler try to put the ball in, and there's Brian Washington with excellent coverage.
Hostetler certainly didn't have to rush that football, Joe. He had himself a bit of time, didn't he?
Oh, sure. He's angry at himself. He knows he made a bad play. It's one of the few times he hasn't been knocked down while he's back there trying to throw the ball.
Jets may just fall on it right here with 59 seconds left in the half. And that's what they're going to do. Jets will run it out. They're not going to get a chance to run it out, though. The Giants call a timeout.
The penalty flags. I hope the Giants don't call timeout. They only have 2 left.
12 men on the field.
Something like that. I don't know what the flags.
12 men on the field on the defense.
Goes against the Giants.
Weeb Eubank used to tell us, when you go out on that field, make sure you count. And I want you to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And if we don't have 11 out there, you start screaming. Get somebody out there. He said, but if you count 12, don't say anything. Maybe we'll get away with it.
Good old Weeb, who coined the phrase the bragging rights for this ball game. 84-year-old Weeb Eubank.
In great shape, too. Oh, energy. And Mrs. Eubank, too. Lucy, she's doing fine.
So the Jets will just run it out right here. Hostetler will finish the half with numbers of 4 for 9 for 47 yards with that interception.
I tell you, quarterback keeps getting knocked down. Man, when I got knocked down a lot of times, I wasn't seeing straight. I don't know what he was seeing this last time. He threw it right to Washington. But Hostetler's been harassed by that Jet defensive front throughout the first half. He's taken some tough hits back there.
It's easy for me to say he had a little more time to throw that last time. But after getting murdered by Bird, murdered by Pickell, it doesn't seem like that much time for the man who has the football, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Well, it'll be the 42-yard field goal by Raul Alegre, the only scoring in this first half. And the big key interception by Brian Washington in the closing minute of this first half. And Bruce Coslet's football team, as Coslet leaves the field with his arm around Dennis Bird, the Jets lead in the football game by a score of 3-0. Both quarterbacks seeing some action, and I think for Bruce Coslet, this is a good half as far as getting people into the ball game, particularly the 2 quarterbacks.
Hey, he's mixed his defense up nicely. He's missed his offensive line up there. He's looked at every running back you can imagine so far. Coslet has to be thrilled with the way he's getting looks at these different people. Plus, he got O'Brien in the game. He's getting him some work. So a good half for the Jets. For the Giants, I know they can't be happy with their offensive protection. the defense the Giants could be happy with. They did a good job.
Yeah, Leonard Marshall with a big sack, which took the Jets, pushed the Jets back and forced Allegre to kick the 42-yarder. So here at halftime, it is the Jets 3, the Giants nothing. We'll take a break. When we get back, we'll have all the halftime statistics and the second half kickoff, with the Jets leading it by a score of 3-0. With Joe Namath, Spencer Ross back here at Giants Stadium as we're getting ready for the second half kickoff, with the Jets leading in the ball game by a score of 3-0. The halftime numbers, as we'll check out the statistics for you in just a moment. First of all, Louis Aguilar set to kick it away. Smith and Callaway back deep for the Giants. Good kick. Callaway will elect to run it out. At the 10, he's got room on the outside. It closes up quickly, and he's taken down at the 15-yard line. When you're going to run it out from 2 yards deep in the end zone, you better make sure you're going to get past the 20.
You know, Aguilar kicked a high kick, too. These returners should understand those Jet defenders were down there quickly. There you see the stats, and I'll tell you, these defenses on both teams are doing very well. There isn't much rushing yards up there for either team. The passing yards, the Jets have the big edge right now, and that's where the difference is. There's only been one turnover, and that was the interception that Hostetler had when his team could have at least tied the game with a field goal.
Kent Graham, the rookie 8th-round draft choice from Ohio State, is the quarterback now as we start the second half for the Giants. And the first carry of the second half goes to Anthony Lynn, a rookie free agent from Texas Tech, and Joe Fishback is in on the stop.
Pitt, I'll tell you what, Mario Johnson got some good pressure back there that time that forced Lewis Tillman to cut back, forced him out of the hole. Mario Johnson is a raw young rookie that, hey, buddy, he is big and strong. The Jets say, man, he's just green right now, but give him some experience, and he's going to be a force.
Here it is, second down now for the Giants. Second down and 7, the ball at the 18.
Woo!
Wow, you talk about a hard hit right there. Bingo. Marvin Washington head on.
I like what Pete Carroll, the defensive coordinator, is doing with Marvin Washington last week. We saw him on the left side. Now he's on the right side. He's able to move around. What the Jets have done, Spencer, as they built their depth up with with the defensive line. Washington now can play both sides, off left or right defensive end. Fraze in the middle and Piquel in the middle and Mario Johnson. The Jets' depth is so much better. There's not that much of a drop-off now when the first unit guys aren't in there.
And that's really the difference with this team right now. Here's the third down passing situation, and the ball thrown behind Rodney Hampton. And again, good pressure by the Jets as Mercero, Washington were there coming up against the rookie quarterback Kent Graham.
Hey, you know what? I like the way Brown did that time, throw the ball to the right receiver. He didn't have anyone open downfield, and Dave Brown showed some pretty good calmness back there in the pocket.
So it'll be fourth down now. The Giants will have to kick the football away.
Hey, wait a minute. Did I say Brown back there, or who do we have in there? Kent Graham?
Graham, yeah.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I thought that was Brown back there. Graham showed good poise that time.
Another rookie. And here's Eric Brunn to kick the ball away to Carpenter. Brunn's first kick of the night.
Boy.
And Carpenter now will pick it up. That's good concentration to pick up a nice 6 or 7 yards on that return. 42-yard kick, make it 9 yards on the return, and it gives the Jets the ball in Giant territory for their first possession here in the second half.
Yeah, ideally you would have liked to have Carpenter catch that ball on a fly, but he just didn't feel like he could get there at the time. Nagel is back in at quarterback, and once again he's going with an offensive line that's not the starting offensive line. The Jets have mixed it up with Mike Hayden to tackle now, and they also have Brent Miller in there at the right tackle. So Bruce Coslet continues to mix his offensive and defensive lineup.
The Giants making some changes as we start the second half. It is a 3-0 ball game in favor of the Giants, and Nagel, who played most of the first half. Ken O'Brien saw a couple of series, and Nagel finished the first half with numbers of 7 of 9 for 79 yards. On first down, Hector and Chafee, Pat Chafee in the lineup, are the running backs. Play action fake. Nagel with a lot of time. That ball slipped out of his hands as he was hit.
You're right. I was with Browning before the game, and we were going over the footballs. We were talking about the footballs being slippery. He was in the locker room with Bill Hampton back there, and Browning was talking about how slippery the footballs are. Right now, he has plenty of time, nice protection to throw, but there's no one open downfield to throw the ball.
And Canavis McGee with a nice hit on him just as he released that football, but it did look like it did slip out of his hands, Joe.
We'll call that a slipsy.
A slipsy. Here's Hector in motion on 2nd and 10. Nagel, he's got his man. It's Al Toon inside the 35, down to the 32. Mark Collins in on the step. Nice to see Al Toon back. His 3rd reception of the evening, and the Jets have themselves a first down.
Yes, and I like to see Browning Nagel having the opportunity to read coverages and pick his receiver to go to. He went to Toon, who ran a nice turn-in pattern and nearly split the defenders to take it all the way. It was a good tackle because Else turned it upfield smartly that time.
16-yard pickup to Al Toon and a first down at the 33 of the Giants. Johnny Hector following Dave Cadigan. Nice man to follow. Inside the 25, down to about the 22. Lamar McGriggs was the man on the stop for the Giants.
I liked what I saw of Johnny Hector that time. I mean, he was picking them up, putting them down. Good speed. Didn't show any signs of a pulled groin muscle. Check this out now. Looky here. Johnny's turning on some jets right now. That's good speed getting around that corner.
Following number 66, Dave Cadigan. And the ball inside the 25, down at the 24. Called a gain of 9. Well, we'll say 8 because that's what it says up there. 2nd down and 2.
Only Cadigan and Dwayne White are regular starters in there.
Good play action fake. Oh, and Collins recovered quickly for the Giants along with Corey Raymond to help break up that play.
That's a play Nagel cannot afford to make. That should have been an interception. Browning Nagel makes the fake, but you see when he looks back up, he can't find that safety over there. He never saw him. He took a guess, hoping that the safety had bitten on the fake. That was good coverage. That should have been interception.
On the same note, last week Green Bay, same side, same kind of problem, and that turned into an interception and a touchdown.
That's right. Brad Baxter last week didn't take enough out of the linebacker. The linebacker got in Nagel's face. He couldn't see it. He just took a chance. You can't take those kind of chances. It's good that he's learning that during the exhibition season.
3rd down and 2 from the 24-yard line. Oh, and breaking away and getting the first down, and then more as Pat Chafee was hit at the line of scrimmage, and then Chafee broke away before Perry Williams was able to bring him down. But a big first down for the Jets, and this drive will continue. The gain down, let's see where they'll mark it, to the 13-yard line, so a gain of 11 yards. Looked like he was stopped right here, Joe.
Oh, he was stopped. Brett Miller got pushed back there pretty good by the surge of the Giants, but Chafee's able to jump outside. I like the way Mike Haight, playing at left offensive tackle for the Jets right now, was downfield trying to do his job.
Carpenter wide to the near side. Johnny Hector the lone setback for the Jets, and we'll get flags dropped on the field.
Yeah, Cadigan forgot what number the snap count was.
Hector pats him on the helmet.
Yeah,
it's okay, big guy.
Yeah. Larry Bechdahl, the offensive line coach, wouldn't be patting him so gently on the helmet right there either. Think, young man, think.
You're in this deep. You don't want to give up the 5 yards right here. Moves the Jets back to the 18. 3 tight ends, Mark Boyer, Johnny Mitchell, and Troy Sadowski. And a first down at 15 for the Jets. Hector, the lone setback. Johnny Hector. Moving down back to the 15-yard line. Pepper Johnson in on the stop. Steve DeOssie helping out. Johnny Hector, as you said, does not look any worse for wear as far as that groin injury is concerned. You make a moves like that, you can't be doing it with a bad groin muscle.
Oh, you called it, Spencer. That was a nice cut, a sharp turn back upfield. Jets coming back with another formation. That's another thing I like about Bruce Costin. He keeps mixing these formations, mixing 2 backs in the game, 1 back, 3 tight ends, 2 tight ends.
2nd down and 12 now for the Jets. The ball at the 15-yard line. They lead it 3-0. Hector comes in motion. Browning, Nagel to throw. He's got his man. It's out 2 at the 5-yard line. It'll be a goal to go for the New York Jets. No checking. It'll be a 3rd and 2 coming up for the Jets. The ball on the 5. Toone's 4th reception.
Offensive line coach Larry Bechtel has to be pleased. Look at this pass protection once again. Beautiful. The ball is put outside nicely, and Toone makes a good catch, but you've got to give that offensive line and offensive line coach Larry Bechtel a lot of credit. They're giving Nagel and O'Brien plenty of time to throw.
You had Maynard. Jet quarterbacks now have Toone. It's nice to have a man to throw a ball to.
Oh, sure. We had George Sauer, too, who was probably my main receiver. You could go, look out.
3rd and 2, and it's a touchdown for Brad Baxter. As Baxter goes around the right side, virtually unmolested until he reached the goal line. Good blocking up front by the Jets' right side of that line. Brett Miller in particular, number 72, and Johnny Mitchell, the tight end. All the tight ends, all 3 of them were in there.
I know. You know, this is just nice blocking. They sealed the corner. Now Baxter gets in, gives the ball over to Mark Collins, says, here you go. Collins says, take it back, Jack. I don't want it. But the 6 points are on the board.
Raul Alegre will try the extra point. Louis Aguiar will hold. And the Jets lead it by a score of 10-0. A 49-yard drive. A 16-yard pass to Toone. Chafee with a big 11-yard run, and Baxter goes the final 5 yards for the touchdown, and the Jets lead it 10-0. Nice drive by the Jets. Brownie Nagel back in the lineup. And Brad Baxter goes the final 5 yards for the touchdown. Louis Aguiar will kick it off. And back deep for the Giants, they will send Chris Callaway and Joey Smith. That is Callaway on the left side of your screen. You're not going to run this one out.
I don't think.
You better not run this one out. And it'll come out to the 20. So Louis Aguiar with a good kick, and the ball will come out to the 20. When we return, it'll be Giant football. Jets lead 10-0. Eight plays, 49 yards for the touchdown. Brad Baxter with that touchdown run. The final yards into the end zone.
Baxter, Chafee, Johnny Hector. I mean, they all broke some nice runs that time. Nagel had excellent pass protection by an offensive line that's doing a great job out there. And hey, that was all Jets. Right now, the offensive line of the Giants is basically a backup offensive line, so they're going to be hard-pressed to get any kind of offense going at this point.
Hey, Joe, we've talked, some people talk about this game losing interest. You saw the crowd right there. That was the end zone crowd. There's a few empty seats up behind the goal line on the upper deck, but it's one heck of a crowd out here on a summer's night to see a preseason football game. 1st and 10 for the Giants from the 20-yard line. Kent Graham, the quarterback, and we get flagged. Now, you might say flags is a preseason game. Well, up front, the Giants have Jeff Novak, a rookie free agent. Nick Finian-Ganolfo, another rookie free agent. Brian Williams, a 4-year pro, is now at the center position, replacing Bart Oates.
Number 61, the offense, 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
And that one goes against Bob Cratch, who's now in his 4th year and slated to start until Eric Moore decides he might want to come back.
Yeah, well, Eric may not even get that position back because he's going to be a little bit out of shape, and he certainly hasn't had any reps in there, so Cratch may be a starter to begin with.
And Clarence Jones now at the right tackle position, replacing Doug Riesenberg.
You know, we mentioned this nice crowd. This is a nice crowd, especially with Elton John and Eric Clapton across town over at Shea Stadium performing. Whoops, slips it up.
And the Jets have the football. On the fumble, the Jets have recovered. And it's Joe Kelly on top of it. So on the turnover, the Jets get it back with a 10-0 lead and an opportunity to add to it right here.
Before the game, my old center, John Schmidt, was up here. Our center on the Super Bowl, man that I played with for many years. He and I fumbled one snap together in the 10 years that we exchanged the ball. This is one thing that should be near automatic, the center quarterback exchange. I say near automatic because Mother Nature has a way of making the ball wet, slippery, etc. But meantime, that center quarterback exchange should be near automatic.
Where did that fumble exchange take place? Was
up at New England. We were playing Boston in Fenway Park, and we were behind 24-21, third down with a 62 pick on. Matt Snell was wide open, but I didn't have the ball. It was on the ground. We kicked the field goal, tied 24-24.
First and 10 for the Jets from the 16. Browning Nagel gives the ball off to the old veteran and future Hall of Famer, Freeman McNeil. And McNeil stutter steps down near the 10-yard line. Amazing thing about old Freeman, and he's not that old, but here's a guy who year after year, 4+ yards, year after year after year, the Jets' all-time leading rusher, and 11 consecutive years better than a 4-yard per carry average. Nobody has ever done it that well.
And I will tell you something, all the years that Freeman's been running behind his offensive line, he's only had one Pro Bowler up there in front. Marvin Powell,
right.
I believe, was the only Pro Bowl offensive lineman McNeil has had to work with.
A gain of 5. It is 2nd and 5 now for the Jets from the 11. Here is Nagel to throw. Nagel to the end zone, and he put it up for grabs, and it should have been intercepted by Perry Williams. Intended for Carpenter and fiercely underthrown.
Yeah, Nagel says, I should have put some air under it, meaning throwing the ball, arching it a little bit more, but I'll tell you, Perry Williams read this thing like a good book. He's in good shape. He should have caught it.
And for the Jets, it almost turned into a Stephen King nightmare novel.
Plenty of time, good protection, just didn't get the ball up far enough to the outside, high enough, maybe a little late also.
Toon and Carpenter go wide to the far side of the field. Terrence Mathis to the near side on 3rd down and 5 from the Giant 11. Jets lead 10-0. Nagel steps up in the pocket and throws incomplete, intended for Carpenter, and good coverage on the play by the veteran Everson Walls, and it'll bring up a 4th down. You like to put the ball in, and the Jets unable to do it right here. Will have to settle for 3, and Jason Starofsky will come out.
I tell you, Everson Walls, one of my all-time favorite defensive backs. I mean, when he came out of college, he was unheralded. The man has a knack of being around it, intercepting it. Of course, now Bruce Carson is telling Nagel, you need to lay that ball up to the outside a little bit. And of course, Browning said, yes, sir, I understand. That last pass was a pretty risky pass in itself.
Here's Starofsky to try a 28-yard field goal. Placed down at the 18, gets it off, and put 3 more on the board for the Jets. So 2 scores and 2 opportunities here for the Jets in the 3rd quarter. 8:21 remains, and the Jets lead it now by a score of 13-0. Channel 11 wants to remind you that you'll be seeing 4 regular season NFL games on WPIX this year. The Patriots at the Jets, that's a Sunday night game on the 4th of October. And then in November, the Giants and the Redskins, the Giants and the Broncos. And in December, the week before Christmas, the Jets at the Dolphins at Joe Robbie Stadium. Ray Handley on the sidelines. You know, this Giant team right now, as they get set for this kickoff, Handley, a disappointing season last year. Aguiar set to kick it off. Callaway and Smith are back deep. And Smith will get the return from the goal line. Great special team coverage again for the Jets down at the 16-yard line. Tony Stargell and Kurt Barber into the stop. You know, Joe, you take a look at the Giants' schedule. as they start off this year, and you talk about being on a pressure cooker for Coach Handley. As we look at Bruce Coslett on the sideline, the Giants have San Francisco the opening week of the season, followed by Dallas, then the Chicago Bears, then they've got a week off before they have to go to LA to take on the Raiders.
I wouldn't dare say there's a chance of the Giants being 0-4. I mean, I would not dare say that. I don't believe it. I think they're too good to be 0-4.
But those are 4 very, very tough games indeed. And this time it is Graham running out of the pocket, and we get flags all over the field. There'll be a holding call against the Giants.
Holding, number 67, the offense, penalized, repeat first down.
The holding call goes against Jeff Novak. Well, we'll check the attendance out, 58,880.
Nice crowd, huh? Is this the Giants' first game as a visitor in Giant Stadium?
In Giant Stadium, yeah.
But they kept their old locker room, right?
Oh, absolutely. That'd be a little too complicated. They didn't move out of their room. O.J. Anderson is in the lineup. First time we've seen him tonight. And the ball way back now at the 8-yard line. Graham with the play action fake. Graham now just dumps it over the middle, and Anderson bobbles the football.
All right now, Graham, don't be looking too upset, buddy. OJ's been around a lot longer than you have. He's allowed to drop one once in a while. That's one thing your quarterback doesn't want to do, is show some frustration for his teammates out there. These guys turn around and they look at the young man. They see the quarterback's frustrated. How does the rest of the offense feel? That quarterback's got to keep himself together. If a guy drops the ball, all right, that's all right. You'll catch the next one.
I believe that sounds like we want Sims.
You betcha we want Phil. I'll tell you, one of the best in my opinion to this day, Phil Sims.
Absolutely. Number 11, done a heck of a lot for this organization. And Graham, that time, that should have been a completion. Charles Swan bobbled that one. But again, Graham doing something which, you know, the interesting thing is, as you say, it's not only quarterbacks, but American athletes, when teammates make mistakes, tend to look away and look, you say, pat somebody in the back. European, you see European soccer players, they yell and scream at each other all the time. You know, and you can't do what Graham's doing here right here. It's exactly what you said.
Charlie Swan kind of looked like he pulled up a little bit. That's not bad pass protection. I'll tell you though, Cadrez, the linebacker, rookie linebacker for the Jets, was right back there in his face. And of course, that's Phil Sims. I'd like to have his golf game.
Phil's a pretty good one at that, too.
Yes, he is.
Graham on third down, able to get it off. Showed a lot of poise right there under a great deal of pressure.
Yeah, poise all right. He's getting up rather slowly, but he did get up.
Singleton with the reception, way shy of the first down. And it'll be a fourth down, and the Giants will punt it away.
Well, you're seeing the Jet defense right now take advantage of a backup offensive line for the Giants. And as we mentioned earlier, the defense is normally ahead of the offense. Certainly the offense's second offensive line at this point in the season.
Eric Brunn will kick it away. Carpenter back for the Jets, standing at his own 45-yard line. Good kick. Fair catch at the 44-yard line. A 42-yard kick, no return. Jets take over, excellent field position, leading 13-0 with 6:55 left in the third quarter. Just as we were breaking away, a big cheer from this crowd for number 11, Phil Sims, who makes his first appearance. Man's heard a lot of cheers here, and what a career he has had. 14th year, and Handley puts basically his starting offensive line back in the lineup as the Giants put it into play, 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. Here's Lewis Tillman on the first carry. Get a flag in the play as he hits the 20. Joe Mott with a good hard hit, number 51. Giants now with Roberts, Oates, Cratch, Riesenberg, and Clarence Jones plays the left side in place of John Elliott.
Yeah, and I think Clarence Jones is getting called for a holding penalty on this particular play. Something that Phil Sims certainly is not happy with, or the Giants offense having to start out over again with a 1st and 20.
Clarence Jones in his second year from Missouri.
Right side of the screen down here at the bottom. Watch number 68 on 64. Wayne Wickett gets held from the back side and can't tear himself loose.
First and 19.
So the ball back at the 9 now. And as you said, Joe, it is 1st and 20 now. Deflected up in the air, intercepted. Jets have it back off the deflection. And it's Kurt Barber, the rookie, second-round draft choice from USC, as Sims is intercepted off the deflection. To check and see just who deflected that ball up into the air to set up the interception.
Quarterback can't do much about that. If the offensive lineman can't keep driving, the defenders get their hands up, and the quarterback really releases the ball. There's not much you can do. It's going to be on the left side of the screen, right over the middle. Piquel.
Yep.
Big Bill Piquel gets his left hand up there and makes the play.
Well, again, for the second time in this half, the defense has set up the offense. A fumble earlier, and right here, an interception, and it's 1st and 10 for the Jets from the Giant 12-yard line, and Freeman McNeil gets the call. It's inside the 10, down to about the 8. Pepper Johnson, number 52, and number 95, Ed Reynolds, combining on the stop.
Now, what your quarterback's thinking is at this stage with a 13-0 lead, you want to make sure you get at least 3 points on the board. Don't throw the interception that Hostetler threw or take a chance like Nagel did. O'Brien wants to make sure he gets his team at least a chance to put a field goal up, because that would mean the Giants will need 3 scores to get back into the game or to get ahead. So I'd look for O'Brien to play this pretty cozy, not take any chances with a pass over the middle.
Chafee is the lone setback now on 2nd down and 6, and O'Brien.
Oh,
over the middle, touchdown to Terrence Mathis.
Well, that wasn't quite over the middle. I mean, it was off the left a little bit.
It was about 2 yards to the left, but all along was Terrence Mathis, who crossed over and took the touchdown pass from Ken O'Brien. And the Jets lead it 19-0.
The underdog Jets, I might add. I believe the Giants were 2.5-point favorite New Yorkers.
Jason Starofsky will try the extra point. That's nice for Kenny O'Brien, too, to come back and throw that touchdown pass. I don't care how many years you've been playing this game, right, Joe? You come in here after being out for as long as he has been.
Feels awful good. You know, there's doubt amongst the fans, especially on O'Brien's capabilities, but the players rallied around Kenny as soon as he came into camp, man. They were just happy as could be to have him back. Rolled out the red carpet for Kenny in the locker room. $200 bills around with his picture on. So
thousands of $100 Ken O'Brien $100 bill.
You see that? O'Brien knew exactly where to go right away. In the second step, you saw that head turn and look for the slant. That is a wily quarterback. Knows where to go and when.
Taking advantage of the turnover, and it took just 2 plays, and O'Brien into the end zone for the touchdown to Terrence Mathis and a 20-0 New York Jet lead.
That's the veteran. You know that? You see a young guy throw a touchdown pass. He's leaping in the air, throwing his arms around. Kenny threw the ball, touchdown, ho-hum, turns around. I just did my job.
Jets 20, Giants nothing. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see Phil Simms back in there, and we're going to continue to see the Giants' first offensive line. Ray Handley's got to get him back in at this point, doesn't he, Joe?
Yes, I think so. Coach, well, I don't think he's going to put in his offensive line, or he had him in the last time with the exception of Jones. But I'd like to see Simms back in there. Hey, this morning I took the trip up to Connecticut, and I visited with the only honorary coach of the Giants I know, Sister Carol Ann, who was made an honorary coach by Ray Perkins, then Bill Parcells, and Ray Handley kept Sister Carol Ann on the staff. And she is just wonderful. She runs the Villa Marie Educational Center in Connecticut, and she sent me back with a picture to give LT, you know, and I told the boys, and had a good visit with several of the players, Sean Lindetta, Dave Jennings. They all know Sister Carol Ann, and they would love for her to be at the stadium. She seems to bring them luck.
Here's Callaway at the 8-yard line. And right here, the sister's back home in Connecticut, but she isn't bringing them much luck right here.
No, well, she knows it's exhibition season, so she doesn't want to waste any yet.
The Giants will take over. Took just 2 plays following the interception of Phil Simms. 12 yards. Mathis An 8-yard TD reception. Terrence Mathis continues to become very much a part of the Jets scheme. So Phil Simms back in the lineup on a 1st and 10 from the 19. Simms with time, and Simms has his man complete up to the 35-yard line, to the 37-yard line. Joey Smith on the reception, the 2nd-year pro from Louisville, who actually was basically a defensive back in college. So he didn't catch too many Browning-Nagel passes. But he's catching them here in the pros. Well, hold on, we got a flag.
One of the Jets defenders had their hands up in the face mask area of a Giant, and they got called for illegal use of the hands.
So illegal use of the hands or hand?
I think it was hands that time. It looked like he used 2.
Lewis Tillman, that defense doing a good job. Joe Mott's on fire. Number 51, Joe Mott, flying all over the place right here. Is Joe fighting for a job in his 3rd year from Iowa?
Yeah, he did a good job last year. Kurt Barber's also in there, #1 draft choice. I'd like to get a good look at him. Bobby Houston so far has played the better of the two at the strong side linebacker position, but number 98 is trying to win a job.
2nd down and 7 now. Here's Simms to throw. Over the middle. He's got Callaway. Callaway's going to go for a touchdown. We've got a flag in the play, but Callaway is in for the score. 60 yards for the touchdown. Make it 61 officially. And unless that flag's against the Giants, the Jets are on the board. The Giants are on the board. Hold on, they're going to bring it back. Whoa.
Pass interference. Offense, number 19.
Wow, they call it on Callaway. Two Jet defenders were with Callaway, and he winds up getting called for the interference.
Yeah, but for nothing else, Phil Simms came back in there and got his team on the board. I mean, yeah, you're right, Phil. That was a fine throw. Went to the right man, just the top of the screen. I don't think we're going to see it, but the ball is right on target. Callaway obviously pushed off to get inside. At least that's what the officials saw. We can't see it on our replay.
So Simms will have to crank it up again, and it becomes a 2nd and 17 now from the 30-yard line. In motion goes Joey Smith. Simms, Lewis Tillman on the reception up to the 38-yard line. Glenn Cadrez into the stop for the Jets. They have 8 yards on the play. 1:25 left in this 3rd quarter. Phil Simms trying to get his team back into this ball and trying to generate a little bit of excitement, and he did.
Yeah, he'd like a fair shake. You know, he keeps coming back with the 2nd down and 17, 2nd down, 3rd down, 19. The penalties have hurt the offense of the Giants this 2nd half.
Comes a 3rd down and 10 now, and Simms will work out of the shotgun. Nice step up into the pocket. And a good reception by Stephen Baker. Diving grab by Baker into Jet territory down to the 48-yard line. James Hasty into the stop. Great catch right there.
Oh, boy, yeah, it is. It's a great catch. We'd be spending 5 or 10 minutes up here if we still had the replay bureau. And look, check this out. Where's the ball? Oh,
yes. Let's bring it back. But not this year. Here's Simms. He pumps and then finds his man. And this time it is Callaway holding on down at the 28-yard line. Now checking out the Jet defense, they've got Washington, Piquel, and Fraze, and a Wicca up front. Kurt Barber, Joe Mott, and Glenn Cadrez. At the linebackers, McMillan, Fishback, Coors, and Hasty, and Simms is moving his Giants downfield as the gun sounds ending the 3rd quarter. Giants have moved down to the Jet 28. Jets lead it by a score of 20-0. And we'll get back. Phil Simms brings his team back to the line of scrimmage. It's coming into the line of 4 of 5 for 60 yards. Had that 60-yarder taken away from him for the touchdown on the pass interference call. He's gone to the end zone to Callaway. He's got a touchdown. Well, Callaway made up for it that time with a really nice grab, and Phil Simms right on the money with a 28-yard touchdown pass. Tony Stargell defending on the play.
And I'll tell you what, Simms in his 14th year shows no signs that that right arm of his has weakened one bit. Beautiful throw downfield to Callaway.
He can still do it. Talk about the great Giant quarterbacks, the Tittles, the Connerlys, the Tarkingtons.
Wait a minute. Come on, Spencer. Hey. Well, he is a Hall of Famer.
Oh, this guy.
Francis Tarkington.
Oh, yes, sir. Okay. So it is now 20-7, and we'll take a break.
Houston 33, Orleans
3 minutes 50 seconds remaining in this ball game, with the Jets leading it by a score of 20-7. Brownie Nagel tonight 9 of 12, 97 yards. Ken O'Brien 5 of 8, 48 yards and a touchdown throw.
And A for the offensive line with their pass protection.
Here's Chafee getting up over the 15 near the 18-yard line. The clock continues to run. 3 minutes 40 seconds remaining. Corey Miller in on the stop. And a timeout call once again by the Giants. That's their second timeout. They have one remaining. So 3:40 left in the ball game, and Ray Handley trying to put out all the stops to try and get his team another opportunity at the football. Giants fell behind as the Jets grabbed a 20-0 lead. Starofsky with a field goal in the first half. Checking Rollo Allegre with a 42-yard field goal for a 3-0 lead. Then Brad Baxter went 5 yards for a touchdown. An 8-play, 49-yard drive for the Jets. They led it 10-0. And following a fumble, Starofsky kicked a 28-yard field goal to make it 13-0. And then following a Kurt Barber interception, it was Terrence Mathis with an 8-yard pass from Ken O'Brien for a 20-0 lead. And the Giants get back on Simms to Callaway for 28 yards.
One of the two kickers for the New York Jets, Jason Starofsky, Raul Allegre, but they're not going to be a Jet much longer. But they will play this season. I bet you that. That's a humble prediction, because Allegre's played well. He's kicked well this exhibition season, and I promise you out there, 27 other teams, Allegre and Starofsky, they're both going to be kicking this season.
Two very good kickers, replacing the greatest kicker lengthwise, and just what a great career for Pat Leahy. Kind of thought he was going to go on forever. There's Chafee again on the carry. I know Jim Turner was pretty good back in your day, but Patrick was numero uno with us.
I remember Pat Leahy's first game. We played the Giants. That's right. We played the Giants up in the Yale Bowl. It was in '74, and it went into sudden death. We ended up winning the game in overtime, but Pat's first kick was a little shaky and a little low, so we ended up in overtime rather than trying a field goal from about the 15-yard line. I threw a pass to Boozer. He took it in for the touchdown. But that was Pat Leahy's first game with the Jets.
And what a great career.
Oh, what a great guy.
Yeah.
I mean, Pat was loved by everyone in that organization.
One of the best. And now retired, former soccer player from the University of St. Louis, who came to the Jets and really found a home. Lost all his hair and just kept kicking the football.
Hey, 4th and 1, you can bet the Giants will be coming around the NFL. Montana surgery, that's a big question.
He says he might have to go for it.
Yeah, well, hey, he's not well. Bruce Smith returns, and that's a headache for all the left tackles around the league and offensive lineman. Deion Sanders, man, if he comes back to football, I'm going to be one surprised dude, because as well as he played baseball this year, and given the injury factor in professional football, I just can't see why a young man would want to risk his good health and his career in baseball. He can last, Dion can last 12, 15 years in baseball, and they're paying him a good dollar right now, and they're going to pay him a heck of a lot more next season.
And a 4th down and 1 here. Aguiar hangs this one up nice and high. Ingram at the 43. The other side of the coin, the other Florida State defensive back, Terrell Buckley, signing a 1-year minor league deal and turning down about $5.5 million from the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, I don't know that he really got that kind of offer from the Packers. I was surprised to see him take that baseball deal because it doesn't match what the Packers have offered him so far. Hey, that last punt, I just want to say, Aguiar took 1 step to kick that ball. The Jets were expecting the rush. He used a short punt to get it off. Coach L. Roberts, a special team coach, he stays on Aguiar out there at practice. 1 step, 1 step, 1 step. And I saw him hit a 53-yarder just taking 1 step a couple of weeks ago in practice, so he can boot it. Uh-oh!
Sims in the fumble, finds the football and throws it away.
Yeah, well, he's going to get called for intentional grounding there. Phil just took a chance in trying to stop the clock. Phil's concern right now is stopping that clock, and it's a low snap, you see, down around his knees. Very difficult to catch, especially when you're backing up a bit. And that's not the kind of hit you want to see Phil Sims take, but Roy Hart's going to be able to tell his children someday, hey, I hit Phil Sims, you know, that maybe Hall of Famer, I hit him clean. May not get another chance to hit Phil Sims, Roy Hart, but that was a good lick he laid on Phil.
Great career indeed for number 11. Can still throw that football. It's going to be shy of the 1st down, but mighty close to it at midfield.
Well, right now you're Sims out there, and you want to get some points on the board, but you also know that the Jets are dropping back into those deep zones, so Phil's going to have to be a little bit patient. All right, run a draw play up in there, but that's not really good because the Giants are out of timeouts, and that clock is running. The Giants need 2 scores, so I don't think they ought to be running many more draws in there, if any at all.
Ball at the 45-yard line of the Jets. It's a 1st down, 2:40 remaining now. As Sims looks to the sideline, and that one complete to Joey Smith. Smith just carried out of bounds by the force of the football with 2:36 remaining. So now Sims can take a little more time in getting this next play off down at the Jet 44.
Sure, but that was good defense by the Jets again. They forced Phil to throw the short pass to the outside. What do you think they're talking about, huh?
Smile on his face.
I know.
You know when you see a smile on the face of a coach with 2 minutes to go in a football game and he's talking to an official, he's winning.
Right, things aren't all bad.
Sims with a lot of time. Got the youngster again, Joey Smith, out of bounds near the 40-yard line. Just nickel and diamond the Jets right here.
Yeah, good coverage downfield, though. Phil's reading that. He didn't have a chance to go deep downfield. He had to come over here to the outside for his last receiver. Just nice coverage downfield by the Jets.
So it brings up a 3rd down and 5 for the Giants. 20-7, the Jets out in front. It's been a long time in between victories over the Giants in preseason play, although 3 seasons ago the Jets closed out the season with a big victory over the Giants, which knocked the Giants out of a playoff berth. Movement, and we got flags as Sims throws, and Callaway with a real nice reception. McMillan went for the intercept and didn't come up with it. Callaway, who had the touchdown reception, comes up with another nice grab right here.
Offside, left defensive tackle, penalties declined, 1st down.
That means he didn't get the number.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, left defensive tackle that time. Well, what number was that?
Both sides on the defense.
At the Jets 22.
Yeah, you were right, Spencer. Eric went in there and tried to knock that ball down with his left hand and just missed as Sims put the ball in there perfectly.
So the Giants are down at the Jet 22. 2:23 remaining. If they can put this in, you'd look for the onside kick. And a 20-0 lead will be very much in jeopardy. Sims, nice throw. down to the 12-yard line. Stephen Baker on the grab. Dennis Price covering on the play. The ball down to the 9-yard line. It'll be goal to go coming up for the Giants. So let's see where they're going to put it. Put it right on the 10. So the 2-minute warning comes up. Don't go away because this one is not over, folks. It is 20-7 Jets, but the Giants are down at the Jet 10-yard line with 2. As we pick up the action, 2 minutes remain in this ball game. The Jets lead the Giants by a score of 20-7. I want to thank our spotters tonight. Great job done by Andy Cohn and Jonathan Ross, and our statistician Doug Miller. What a fine job done by him. Thank you, Doug, John, Andy.
Did you win that home run derby with the Jets this year? Oh, you came in second, Doug Miller, huh? Well, next year.
Moving again down at the 2-yard line. The pass is complete as Sims hits Stephen Baker.
Sims completes the marking.
The clock is running. Flag on the play will go against the
Offside.
Jets.
Defense.
Giants with an opportunity to punch it in right here. This is the man who's making it happen.
Big Phil doesn't want to win. You think he does not want to win? He's still fighting out there. He wants to get him in the end zone. He knows his team has a chance of winning it. That's what's frustrating for a quarterback. Make your mind up. Tell me what play to run or let me call it. One, you know darn well Phil Simms knows what play to call, but he's got to wait. See that?
And it cost the Giants their final timeout. Oof. And he's upset. And he is letting his feelings be known.
Yes. Well, I tell you, I think they got a little break. I believe the Jets used their final timeout that time because they didn't have their team out there because the Giants already used up a bunch of timeout. Look, he's upset. He wants to play. He wants a formation. He wants something. What do you want me to do? Stop jerking me around here. Hey, come on, huh?
So Sims on the sidelines now, and pretty good effort by Phil Simms. Did not play in the first half. And since coming on here in the second half, he has been a big story in the comeback for the Giants, although they're still 13 points behind. We did not see Dave Brown tonight. That was one of Ray Handley's plans to get the rookie, the supplemental #1 draft choice from Duke, in the lineup.
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't see him. Of course, they wanted to look at Kent Graham again, and I don't know. Kent Graham looked okay out there, but you know they're going to keep Brown somewhere.
Here's Tillman looking for the end zone. I believe he's in.
No, and this is going to take time.
Right at the goal line, Lewis Tillman is stopped, and the clock says 1:33. So it is third down now. Tillman and Bunch, the running backs. They'll give it to Tillman. He is racked up. I don't think he got in.
My goodness.
Great defensive stand right there by the New York Jets. Marcus Turner got up in there, along with Wayne Wicca.
Oh, yes, Keo Coleman. That's a good hit right there by 99, Coleman.
And Ricky Andrews, number 46, but on fourth down, Tillman goes into the end zone with 53 seconds remaining. And it is now a 20-13 ball game.
Good job, Phil Simms. Very good job getting your team on the board twice.
A lot of the folks have left, but suddenly we got a ball game.
Well, it comes down to this extra point for one thing, and then the onside kick. Surely they're going to have to try the onside kick. There's a minor problem on the field right now. Someone's running around out there being a fool. Here's a replay of the touchdown. Nice hole in there. Good blocking by the Giants' right side for Tillman to get in the end zone.
So here is Matt Barr to try the extra point, which would make it 20-14. Well, now we get to the situation where the plot thickens with 53 seconds remaining. And if you folks are still up right now, well, you are. That's like somebody calling you on the phone saying, "Are you awake?" Sure, I'm awake. If you folks are, and you are still up right now, we're keeping you up a little bit longer if you stay this long, because it's now 20-14. And the Jet lead, which at one point was 20-0. Very much in jeopardy right here. Bruce Coslett on the sidelines talking with his team, the special teamers he's going to send out there on this kickoff. And what a job by Phil Simms.
Just as good as you want to see it. I mean, Phil can play anytime with anybody.
11 plays, 58 yards. Led his team to 2 touchdown drives.
Look at those 2 young quarterbacks there. Look at Mr. Simms. You know, I mean, these boys can only dream about what Phil Simms has accomplished. The Jets are going to have their hands team out there, Spence. Their hands team meaning the onside kick return team. All of the fellas up front, about 9 of them, are running backs, tight ends, wide receivers, guys with good hands, defensive back.
So here is the onside kick attempt. And Barr got it to require 10 yards, and good hands indeed right there by the Jets. Blair Thomas has the foot. No, Eric McMillan has the football. Unbelievable. He's just all over the place. Right there, grabs onto the ball when he has to grab onto the ball. Had an interception earlier, which was negated by the bad call by the official. But the Jets have the ball back, and they're going to win it.
Matt Barr does a nice job. He kicks that ball on the ground. It just happened to take a good, lucky bounce for the Jets. A bad bounce for the Giants. Matt Barr has had some kind of training camp, and here's a man, I mean, Barr is in his 14th season, but Ed Krook, the PR director for the Giants, tells me that Barr is in such good physical shape, you'd never think the man is in his 14th year.
Taylor will run out the clock right here. Jets will need one more snap, and this one will go into the books as a 20-14 New York Jets victory. That last drive, 11 plays, 58 yards. Tillman in for the final yard. Phil Simms overall in the ballgame, 13 for 19, 171 yards. A touchdown, 1 interception. That interception came on a tip, and when you look back at it, that turned the ball game around because the Jets turned it around and scored. Hostetler was 4 for 9 for 47. Final play of the game right there, and a smile on the face of Bruce Coslett. Why not? His team has improved to 4-0 in preseason. Never before has a New York Jet football team won its first 4 in preseason play. Of course, now that's all you usually play. This year the Jets will play 5.
That's right, and even though exhibition games don't mean a great deal, it's always more fun to win than it is to lose or tie.
And the Jets have won this one. The final score here, the Jets 20 and the New York Giants 14. Joe and I will get back to wrap things up. Well, we're going to stay right here and wrap things up right now, Joe. A good effort by the Jets. Nagel saw some good time. Ken O'Brien saw a lot more time than a lot of people thought he was going to see. Wound up throwing a touchdown pass. Looked good. The Jet offensive line, another good job by them. And let's talk about the defense, the linebackers. Let's talk about the budding high-profile player perhaps in this Jet team. I'm talking about Mo Lewis.
Mo Lewis is just doing a good job over there. First time he's played that weak side linebacker. He has the speed, the quickness, and the range that Pete Carroll, defensive coordinator, wants on that side. So that's a lock-in. You see the 2 gentlemen right there, Browning, Nagel, Phil Simms. Here the Giants and the Jets are showing a sign of unity and getting together out in the field, thanking the good Lord for the many things we should thank him for in this day and age. Lendetta, Raul, Alegre, or Aguiar, all of them. You know, these guys are old buddies.
Yeah, well, Sean and Raul were teammates right here at Giant Stadium as members of the New York Giants. So that's going to do it. The Jets have won their 4th consecutive preseason ball game. as they come away with a 20-14 victory over the New York Giants. And that'll do it from the Meadowlands. The last time the Jets won 4 games in preseason was in 1975. They were 4-1, and you were part of that.
And they've never won 5 games, so folks, next week in Philadelphia, the Jets will have the chance to do 5 wins in exhibition season.
Stay tuned. We'll be back with you for that one. That'll do it from the Meadowlands. The final score once again, the Jets 20 and the Giants 14. Will the Jets make it 5 in a row in preseason? Well, be sure to join us for our next NFL preseason telecast, as Joe mentioned, this Thursday, August the 27th at 7:30, when the Jets travel to Philadelphia to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Till then, for Joe Namath, Spencer Ross saying so long from Giant Stadium. Once again, the final score, the New York Jets 20, the New York Giants 14. So long, everybody.